Yep, yep, yep. You already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And hold on, y'all. Yeah, alright, my fault, y'all, my fault. So anyway, man, we had a tough loss tonight. Yeah. We had a tough loss tonight, man. Tough loss. But usually I'm never happy after a loss. But I'm not angry right now because of the loss. Because for one, it's early in the season. There's a lot of kinks that need to be, taken out, worked on. So we could be right when it counts towards the end of the season, right? So, there's going to be growing pains and stuff with a new team and things of that nature. So we got to keep things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, this was a disappointing loss. There were key moments within the game that sealed our fate tonight. We could have won this game, but, there were key moments, key things that occurred throughout the game that led. Alright. I think I'm back on, man. I'm back on. Yeah, alright. My fault, y'all, man. I'm having technical difficulties, but I'm back, y'all. So anyway, yeah. So we took a loss tonight, man. There were a lot of reasons why we lost the game. You know what I mean? There's some encouraging things, though, to talk about. You know what I mean? So since we lost tonight, I'm going to start with the things that I like tonight. You know what I'm saying? And off jump, I like the fact that we were scoring. We scored pretty efficiently tonight. All three levels, the three-point shot, the mid-range, you know what I mean? Getting to the basket. We definitely showed some scoring prowess, and I really liked the team effort, the ball movement, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that. I like Bradley Beal. I liked a lot of his game tonight. I didn't like everything, but I liked a lot of his game tonight. I liked his scoring, of course, but I love him trying to get his teammates involved. And he's playing better defense, much more effort, getting his hands on the ball, getting good steals and stuff like that. So I definitely like that about his game tonight. You know what I'm saying? He definitely was scoring in the paint. He was very efficient tonight. Hold on, let me see. 11 for 16 from the field. 5 for 7 from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need him to not miss any free throws. We would like him not to miss any. But, he was pretty efficient tonight. He didn't even, he only shot one three-point shot. He missed it. But that just showed he scored 27 points. Only attempted one three-pointer. So that tells me that he was aggressively trying to get to the hole, which he did tonight. Had a lot of nice post-up moves and things of that nature. So I definitely like that from his game tonight. I liked Porzingis early in the game, hitting threes, hitting some key threes in the fourth as well. And I think in overtime, yeah, definitely in overtime, he had a crazy three off the bounce, you know what I mean? So for 7-3 man to be able to hit the three the way that he can hit threes, definitely encouraging. Definitely like seeing that. And also, him hitting threes sets him up to take the ball to the basket. You know what I mean? Because now his defender's trying to play close to him, and his defender's usually a 5 that aren't used to guarding at the perimeter. So him knowing that, he opens up his defender, you know what I mean, to get to the hole because they're trying to play his three, and he, hits the, the fake and then drives to the basket. So I definitely like seeing that from him. I liked our hands, our activity on the defensive end. We caused a good amount of steals tonight, caused a lot of turnovers, just caused some disruption tonight, you know what I mean, on the defensive end. This team is playing with much more effort on the defensive end. So I definitely like that because that's a staple of Wes Unsell's coaching. That's really the reason we hired him. There were times throughout the season, last season, where we weren't playing any defense, but he still kept, he still preached defense. It was beginning to show its heads this season. We're only 3 games in. It's very evident that our attention to defense is definitely better than it was last season. So I'm hoping that we can continue to keep that up. I like the fact that we pushed the pace tonight. We got some easy, fast break points. And we got a lot of those easy, fast break points from playing the passing lanes, deflecting balls, getting steals. That's making it easy for us to run the break. So again, positives, and we got to keep that up. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that. We took a double-digit lead to start the game. We went up. I think we were up 13-3 before we got the Cavs to call a timeout. So you know what I mean? Just to start the game fast was great. I definitely like seeing that. And also, like I said, throughout the game, we had some runs. We ran our offense well at various points throughout the game, but there were times where we needed the offense to run well, and we just lost it for whatever reason, and we'll get into that later. Kuzma, he made some plays tonight, especially early in the game, but he wasn't his best self tonight, I will admit. But he still showed the things that we like about Kuzma, you know what I mean, in regards to, doing a little bit of everything. He just wasn't as efficient tonight, just wasn't as effective tonight as he has been in previous games, you know what I mean? So, that's going to happen in an 82-game season. And this wasn't one of his best games. So that's just what it was, you know what I mean? Rui was aggressive off the bench. He scored 10 points in the first quarter, you know what I mean? So I definitely like seeing his aggressiveness, but at times, and we're going to get into that, man, he's just a little bit too aggressive. You know what I mean? Not seeing the court, having tunnel vision. He had that problem last season. He has to get better at seeing the court, you know what I mean? Denny's effort on defense was admirable. You know what I mean? It was admirable. You know what I'm saying? He could play defense on the perimeter as well as in the paint. He caused some shots to be missed by the Cavs. You know what I mean? So I definitely like his effort on defense. Unfortunately, his effort wasn't good enough to stop Spider Mitchell, and we're going to get into that with the things that I disliked about the game. You know what I'm saying? But we got to give Denny effort. I mean, give him a good grade for effort at least. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely... Is it debatable he's our best perimeter defender? I think he is, but I don't want to go out all the way to say that yet because DeLon Wright is definitely showing us something as well. You know what I mean? But Denny is definitely an effective defender, and he's definitely an important piece to what we're trying to do this season. You know what I mean? I like Monte Morris, man. I already said that in the previous 2 games, but he was still steady. You know what I mean? A very steady player. He gave us 13 points tonight, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, only 1 turnover. You know what I mean? Very steady. 27 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And he was efficient scoring the ball tonight. A little more aggressive than he was the previous 2 games. Again, he scored 13 points. Not trying to do too much. Not really standing out, but being effective. You know what I mean? You don't want our point guard and the way we're constructed to stand out too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want him to set up his teammates, which he does a good job of. And when he has a chance to score, he takes advantage. He can hit the 3. He gets to the hole. He gets to the foul line. But he doesn't try to do too much. He plays it within his game, and I really like that about him. And as the season goes on, he's just going to get better. So I definitely like that. We had a 9-0 run, a few runs throughout the game. We had a 9-0 run in the third quarter. We had a couple of runs throughout the game. 8-0 run in the fourth quarter that really got us back into the game and eventually helped us get into overtime. So I definitely like that. Our defense started lacking in the third, in the beginning and towards the middle of the third. But in the fourth quarter, towards the end of the third quarter, we definitely tightened up. You could definitely see the tightening up of our defense and us cutting the lead back to single digits. And then in the fourth quarter, we tightened up again, you know what I'm saying? And we forced the game into overtime. So I definitely like that, especially the steal for Will Barton that I think Bradley Beal got it and passed it up the court for Barton to get the easy two to tie the game. You know what I mean? So to have the defenders that we definitely have much better defense on the perimeter than we have in past seasons. That's evident. That's clear as day early in the season, and I don't think that's going to drop off. You know what I mean? I think DeLon Wright, Will Barton, Denny Avdia, Bradley Beal playing with much more effort on the defensive end, saving his energy because he doesn't have to handle the ball so much. So he's giving much more effort on defense, and he's getting his hands on balls, getting steals. So I definitely like seeing that. I already said Barton, very steady off the bench. Even though he had 5 turnovers, tonight. And we cannot have our backup 2 guard /3 getting 5 turnovers. You know what I mean? You just can't do that. So he has to tighten up on his handle, and he can't get those turnovers. So I definitely didn't like that. But overall, very steady off the bench. You know what I mean? Hits Jay, has a smooth crossover, just a smooth game. You know what I mean? Not doing too much for the most part. Again, 5 turnovers is way too many. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. And I just like the fact that this team never gave up. We were down 15 points. You know what I'm saying? We were down 15 points in the fourth quarter, but we came back and got it to overtime. And we easily could have won this game if it wasn't for the mishaps. You know what I'm saying? So, those are the things that I really liked about our effort tonight. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get the win. And the reason we didn't get the win is because of the things I'm about to mention right now, with the things that I disliked about tonight's game. For one, we gave the Cavs too many easy shots, man. Too many easy shots. I do not like that. They got shots at the paint. They got too many 3-pointers, too many clutch three-pointers. You know what I'm saying? I thought we played well on defense at times throughout the game, but for us to give up 117 points, although it went into overtime, so there's 5 periods, still 117 points is a little bit too many for my liking. And I just felt that we gave up too many points. The biggest thing I didn't like tonight is Donovan Mitchell. And not because I don't like Donovan Mitchell. As a basketball fan, he played a great game, man. A great game. This was their first game at home. Their home opener. You know what I mean? And he put on a show tonight. But as a Wizards fan, I disliked it. It was clear as day that we have nobody that could guard that, man. And quite frankly, I don't think that there's anybody that can really stay in front of Donovan Mitchell. For him to come from the west to the east, he's a real problem. It's clear that he's a real problem. And on top of that, Garland is hurt, as well as Ricky Rubio. So that for him to carry the team, play the point, when Garland comes back, he can slide over to the 2. And then with Ricky Rubio, they can put a 3-guard lineup with Garland and Mitchell, with Rubio playing the point, to have Mitchell and Garland playing off the ball. They have so many options at the perimeter. They're going to be a problem tonight. I was looking forward to this game to see a formidable test. I felt the Pacers, they're all NBA teams, but we should have beat the Pacers. And then the Bulls were a little tougher opponent, you know what I mean? But we beat them as well. But the Cavs played the Bulls last night and destroyed them. And that had me worried tonight, because I was like, this is definitely going to be a great test for us, because we beat the Bulls, the Cavs beat the Bulls, but the Cavs beat them much more impressively than we did. So for us to come out, although we had a day rest where they were on a back-to-back, I felt that was an advantage for us, to have that rest while they're playing a back-to-back. But they played at home. But for Spider Mitchell to do what he did tonight, crunch time, I definitely admired that as a basketball fan, but it was really hard to watch as a Wizards fan. And we had nothing for him. You know what I mean? He got Denny in foul trouble. He got a lot of the perimeter players getting fouls. Just too many fouls, man. And then he had that big 3 at the end of the third quarter, which really kind of was an omen of what was going to happen at the end of the game. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. Jarrett Allen was giving KP problems all night. You know what I'm saying? Porzingis scored. I know he scored double digits in the first quarter, but he didn't score at all until late in the fourth quarter. Now he scored in overtime as well, and he helped us, stay in the game. So I definitely like the fact that he gave us some buckets. But for him not to be able to score in the second and the third quarter, he's a big piece to what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? So he has to be more active in the post. I don't know. If you watched me last season, I already knew this was going to be a problem, and it's being a problem this season as well. Is that Porzingis? I'm not going to say he's soft. He's not soft because he plays hard, he plays tough, but he's weak in the paint. He's light, easily pushed around in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Although he's tall, he's disruptive. He, both on the offensive and defensive end, he has a hard time posting up. Even smaller players that should be easy for him to post up and make a move and get to the basket and score, he gets pushed. He just gets pushed, and he doesn't have the strength to back down some players that are smaller than him. Well, shorter than him. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a problem throughout the season. And on the defensive end, he's not the best rebounder because, again, he doesn't have the strength in the post to be an effective rebounder game in and game out. So we're going to have problems rebounding the ball all season. I already know that. That's a negative of just having Porzingis as our center. He has so many positives, but just him being weak in the paint is going to really cause us problems when we're playing even better centers like Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Jokic. You know what I mean? Jared Allen's a good center, a very good center, very quality center. And he was giving Porzingis problems all night, scoring over him and everything. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. The Cavs bench caused problems. The Cavs bench got them back in the game. Osman, hot off the bench early, hitting threes, doing way too much. Even our old Wizards friends, Lopez and Neto, got hot off the bench, giving us problems. You know what I'm saying? Lopez had a crazy shot. Again, another shot that kind of was an omen to what was going to happen. Although we put up a valiant fight, just those type of crazy shots. Mitchell hitting the big three at the end of the third quarter. I'm not going to say those are the reasons we lost the game, but it was kind of like a foreshadow, if you will. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. And then LeVert comes in, hits clutch threes. You know what I mean? So their bench really got them back in the game, and they really was a problem for us. And then on the flip side, I felt that we started to lose momentum when Coach Unseld had our whole second unit in. And I felt he had them in too long, and he has to do a better job of staggering, whether it's Beal, Porzingis, or Kuzma. One of those players got to be in the game at all times. If you're not going to have all three of them in the game, you can't have just a whole second unit out there. I feel we're a deeper team, but I felt that we lost momentum, a lot of momentum, when we had all five bench players in the lineup with none of our starters. You know what I mean? We got to always have one of our starters just, in the game when the other two are getting, well, let me say not starters, but our big three. We got to have one of our big three in the game at all times. You know what I mean? So just to get the other two rest. But we're not good. I like our bench, don't get me wrong, but our bench isn't good enough to have all five of them playing at once without one of our starters, especially playing a team like the Cavaliers. That's a quality team over there. That's going to be a problem all year in the East. You know what I mean? They're very much a contender. So you cannot, I feel like Unseld is, experimenting and realizing that it's early in the season and he still wants to see what he can do, what type of lineups he can put in and not put in. And I feel like he's experimenting a little. So I'm going to, not come for his neck too much tonight, but he has to figure that out sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Another thing that really cost us this game was our rebounding. The Cavs had way too many offensive rebounds, especially in crunch time, especially in the fourth quarter, especially in overtime. And I felt those were reasons why we lost the game. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that at all. We got to do better rebounding the ball. And again, I already mentioned it earlier with KP being light. You know what I mean? He's just light. And he doesn't, you know what I mean, he can't hold his position the way that you would want a center to be able to hold a position. And it's going to cost us throughout the season. I really believe that. We're going to be one of the worst, like on the low end of getting defensive rebounds, and we're going to be one of the worst teams in an opponent offensive rebounds. I just believe that, you know what I'm saying? And tonight it really showed. And I just hope that we find a way to get better rebounding the ball, because I feel that was one of the big reasons we lost tonight. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Porzingis had 11 rebounds tonight, so I don't want to just discredit him like he didn't do anything on the boards. He got a lot of clutch rebounds throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? But we need more. You know what I'm saying? We need more. Kuzma only 2 rebounds. Avdi only 2 rebounds. The next best rebounder on the team tonight was Barton off the bench, or 3/2. You know what I'm saying? We need more rebounding from Kuzma. We need more rebounding from Denny. We need a more effort. It has to be a team thing. Porzingis can't be the one we depending on to get the rebounds, because he ain't built like that. We need more rebounds. We can't have 2 rebounds from Kyle Kuzma. We can't have 2 rebounds from Rui Hachimura. We need more rebounds. So that's going to be a problem throughout the season. After going up and having a great start to the first quarter, we had a terrible end to the first quarter. We let the Cavs go on a 19-8 run. We still led the first quarter 31-30, but we were up 10. Again, that's always a problem with us. We go up, and then we let the teams come back and make the game tighter than it needs to be. So we really got to work on holding leads. You know what I'm saying? This is the NBA, so you know it's a game of runs. And you know there are going to be times where teams are going to come back after we go up double digits. But I'm tired of just seeing that game in and game out. You know what I mean? Again, this is a quality opponent, so let's not be too hard on them. If it was like a Indiana that we go up on and then they come back, that's when I will get upset. But when we're playing quality championship contending teams, you have to expect that from time to time. You know what I mean? I like Rui off the bench. You know what I'm saying? I really like what he brings. I like his skill set. But one thing that I already mentioned it earlier, but man, he has to learn to see the court better. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he has tunnel vision, and he takes bad shots, ball stopper at times. You know what I'm saying? And he's not the star. He got to remember that. I know he's a big star in Japan, and I guess sometimes he feels like he's the star, but he's a role player for the Wizards, and he has to sometimes play like that. Now, when this whole second unit is on the floor, he is the go-to guy, obviously, but still, he could get a few more assists. You know what I'm saying? He got to see the court better. He has to work on seeing the court better and stop having so much tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's going to cost us at times throughout the game throughout the season if he doesn't get better at that. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. Gil, you know how I feel about Gil. I really like him. I really like what he brings to the team. But, man, he got to work on that three-point shot. He had a few wide-open threes in the first half that he missed. And they're going to continue to leave him open if he can't prove to hit the shot. So he got to hit the 3. We need him to hit that 3. You know what I'm saying? The Cavs went up, got a double-digit lead in the third quarter. In the second quarter. I definitely didn't like that. You know what I mean? Our three-point defense was suspect at times throughout the game. We were sloppy on offense in the third quarter. Matter of fact, sloppy on offense in the third and sloppy on offense in overtime, especially in overtime. And that's when we lost the game. Bradley Beal, again, he had 6 turnovers after having 5 turnovers the game before. So that's something he has to cut down on. He is the superstar of the team. He plays well. He gets the teammates involved. He does not try to do too much at times. I really like that. But sometimes he's a little bit too unselfish. And trying to be unselfish at the wrong times of the game, especially that key turnover in overtime. He had a key turnover against the Bulls towards the end of the game. Just being unselfish. Sometimes, like I said, I really like that he's not trying to be a ball hog, even though he signed that max extension, but he's trying to get his teammates involved. That's admirable. But you cannot have clutch turnovers like that at the end of the game. That's something that he's had. That is something that he has had happen to him throughout his career, and he got to get better at that. I mean, we could harp on it all day, all night. He has to get better at not turning the ball over. Period. You can't have 5+ turnovers as the star player of the team. You just can't do that, Bradley. You know what I mean? I'm not coming for you like that tonight because it's early in the season and you're still trying to learn your teammates, but you got to be aggressive when we need you to be aggressive. I'd rather you miss the shot than turn the ball over. At least you get the ball on the rim and we have a chance to get an offensive rebound. But to have 6 turnovers and we lose the game by 10 points, it's just, we got to do better. We got to do better at that, Brad. You got to do better. Cavs go up 15 points in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Again, we showed fight because after them going up 15 points, we could have just folded, but we didn't. We fought, tied the game, and went to overtime. So I don't like the fact that we let them go up 15, especially when there were points in the game, especially early when we were up double digits. You know what I mean? They're up 15 in the fourth. You know what I mean? So we got to do a better job of not letting them go up like that. You know what I mean? I already mentioned Porzingis not scoring in the second and third quarter. They're not really scoring until the end of the fourth quarter. We need more from him. We need him to score 20-plus points a game. He scored 18 tonight. He scored big shots in the fourth quarter and in overtime. So you don't want to minimize that. But for him not to score in the second and third quarter, definitely didn't like that. But part of it was, like I said, I felt like Ansel kept the second unit in a little bit too long. You know what I'm saying? You got to have one of the big 3 in the game at all times. You know what I mean? So it was a part Porzingis, but I feel like it was part coach as well. You know what I mean? And I already mentioned he's weak at times in the paint. It's too late for him. I mean, he is who he is. You know what I mean? He's been in the league a while, and that's been a knock on him throughout his career, and it's not going to get any better. You know what I mean? So maybe you got to work on technique or something like that to maybe minimize, some of the, the opposing team being able to score over him, and then the opposing team being able to hold him on the block. He's too big, too tall for smaller players to hold him on the block. You know what I mean? He got to be more effective posting up on offense. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he gets better as the season goes on. I already mentioned the terrible pass by Bradley Beal at the end of overtime. And then clutch free throws. We missed too many free throws tonight. I need to look at that box. We're only 60% from the line. Oh, and we only got attempted 15. We were 9 for 15 from the line. The Cavs were 22 for 25. So again, 2 games in a row where we let them score too much in the line. You know what I'm saying? We let them score too much. We let the opposing team get to the line too much. And we're not getting to the line enough. Part of it was the refs. You know what I'm saying? At times I felt they didn't call their best game. You know what I'm saying? But we got to hit free throws, especially toward the end of the game, man. Kuzma missed some clutch free throws. Porzingis missed a clutch free throw in overtime. You know what I'm saying? And we lost the game, man. So, that's really all I have in regards to the things I didn't like. The biggest thing is, in the overtime, we got sloppy with the ball, and we just lost focus, and that's why we lost. You know what I mean? We could have won this game. Throughout Spider Mitchell going crazy, throughout how many players? The Cavs had 6 players in double figures tonight, with Donovan Mitchell leading the way, scoring 37 points. He also had 6 turnovers, so we forced turnovers, but 37, that is a lot of points, you know what I mean? So we could have won this game throughout all of that, but unfortunately we just couldn't concentrate when we needed to. But it's early in the season. I'm not too upset. You knew there were going to be games like this. This was a very tough opponent, great challenge, and it gives Coach Ansel some film for the team to watch and for some things we need to work on in order to continue the success we've had early in the season, man. So I'm not too concerned. I'm not upset. I'm not upset like I have been in the past. I don't like to lose, but it's the growing pains. We're gonna have games like this, you know what I mean? So as long as we can get all these bad habits out the way early in the season, work on it, and towards the end of the season, we're not having these discussions of turnovers, missed free throws, sloppy play, in crunch time. You know what I mean? I'll be cool at the end of the season. You know what I mean? So that's about it, man. That's all I got for y'all, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you like the content, I really would appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel at the Wizards Review on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter as well. You can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as on NBA 2K23 on the Xbox Series X and S. You know what I mean? So anyway, till the next game, you know what I mean? You know I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be right here, right after the game, hoping for that win. You know what I mean? We need to get right back on track. You know what I'm saying? But I really like overall the team still. I still really like the team. I like the effort, the don't quit attitude, and the much more aggressive on the defensive end of the floor. You know what I mean? We got to clean some things up, but I believe as the season goes on, we're going to continue to clean up and get better. You know what I mean? The chemistry is going to get better. The team is going to gel, and we're going to get better. You know what I mean? So let's not hang our heads too low. You know what I mean? We're going to bounce back next game, and we're going to get a win. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. I hope you guys have a great evening. Hope to see y'all next game, all right? Take care. Peace.